What is going on, Merlin Empire? Here, you guys, to give you a video, and I wanted to talk about today's topic is the Suicide Squad. And man, this movie, this is following so many things. This is a sequel to a beloved Suicide Squad original movie directed by David Ayer, and then this is falling in the lines of the DCU, which just that alone, it's something crazy from having, a universe started with Man of Steel, having to go to, get, certain branches like making your own Joker movie, and just having so many things where you want a continuity but people don't understand the continuity, and then what is the continuity of the DC universe. Yeah, movies like the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Shazam. You guys know the story. If you know, I feel like my audience is really well versed and acknowledged of what the DCU is. And the Suicide Squad follows James Gunn now, who was eventually canned but brought back, to do his Guardians of the Galaxy. But at the time, DC saw an opportunity and said, you know what, we gotta get this guy. And what's the clause in this? You get to make the movie you want. And then after all that, James Gunn probably saw an opportunity and made the Suicide Squad. And this movie, I don't know if it really truly is a sequel. It does have elements of the first maybe, but mostly it's on its own. But it's essentially again what you're aware. We have Amanda Waller who recruits people like Rick Flag and Harley Quinn for a group, and then Bloodsport played by Idris Elba, and then brought in also with other good at characters like you have the Rat Catcher and you have Polka Dot Man, who are incredible, by Danielle Melchner and David Damashklanian. He's been in so many things like Blade Runner and Ant-Man, and now he has this opportunity with Suicide Squad. And then when things go a certain way, then their teams team up, and we have the Suicide Squad we have now. And I want to say, how does this movie live up? It being DC and all that, is this a really good movie? James Gunn, he's an established actor. Whether if you've seen Slither, Super, the Guardians movies, he has his stamp. And with him getting reigns with the Suicide Squad, how much is this visible? And I like to say, it really is a fun movie. It was a great time. This might not be for everybody because of what he is allowed to do. There might be a lot of violence. It might be so much violence that the plot with how things go for characters and all that, it might be awkward. It might be something not someone that's acquired taste is really comfortable with, which is so understandable. I liked what he did for this movie. It was so fun that seeing actors kind of play these characters in a way that you didn't think, but you accepted. You're like, I like that. I appreciate it. And it was something still what characters could have done. I enjoyed the action a lot, like the first and the third act. The second two, when it's slow, you can tell it's still a Gunn movie. Gunn really does his best, whether it's a big action movie or a little set piece of characters just talking, knowing that this is his film. And throughout different versions, I had a great time with the movie because, like I said, I like the way it starts and just it gets you going with the action. And I like how the team does assemble. And this one movie gave it a good reason why these particular characters should team up. And I thought this made more sense than the previous movie. This movie gave them a more believable tax. I know it's so hard to believe it's a superhero movie, but it needed to be more believable. And Gunn just does a good time kind of blending just the aspects of how, yeah, these people are bad, but they want to have good intentions. I thought this second time around, it was more believable, more justifiable, just more reasoning to why I should have cared for these characters. But we got to realize what they were, and just standard performances from, like, seriously, like the Ratcatcher Part 2, Polka Dot Man, Harley Quinn being as good as always in Bloodsport. They really bring it all. Peacemaker too. Who would have thought Peacemaker? But yeah, it's nice to see how we have our Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn kind of come in, give what she needs to. She's one of the popular characters. That's good. If you're Harley Quinn, this is a movie that should satisfy you without a doubt. And then bringing characters like Bloodsport, he definitely carried more emotion with this. Idris Elba, definitely good actor, realized what kind of script he has, how to play it, realized that this is his time to shine. He elevates it so much, and just that's why what glues sometimes a movie certain aspects had to be best. You know, you could have a good script or a good direction or good actors. This is definitely one of the cases, at the very least. Having these actors play these characters, that's what stood the test of this movie. And that is what makes it survive. And I can't blame that for it being still a good movie. There are things, like I said, that it might be violence. And I can really, some of those, kind of sympathize with the people. Sympathize, I can kind of see. I gotta see what they mean. That, you know, maybe this isn't it, or maybe, you know, you need more serious matter of a movie without so much of the comedy. I thought that, again, this had the serious moments with the comedy that Gunn, you know, Gunn can do and represent. It just, it really clicked for me. It worked for, like, I'd have to say, definitely 90%. 90% of the movie definitely worked for me. And again, it's because of those actors, and they give them time to kind of, for us to kind of, you know, just understand the emotions, but we don't spend all the time lingering on so much. We just get to the surface of, okay, what's the purpose? What's, you know, what is the final, like, summarization of why we're feeling, you know, without it feeling rushed. It was nice. I really did enjoy the script of how they were able to kind of just bring these actors, bring these characters, and just, again, make it fun throughout. Make it a way where, just a nice balance of the comedy and the acting. The action was good. The music brought it, you know, where the action could be that more emotional. It hit the thump, whatever the thump. It was more powerful and all. And just seeing then how people people care for one another, and realizing that, you know, how important one person is to the team, how another person contributes to the team, no matter the superpower. Seriously, it really just all about how the person, I guess, portrays the superpower. You know, who would have thought these kind of characters be, you know, so popular nowadays? But they are popular nowadays because they made it work. And this movie just, it's just enjoyable for all that. You know, it's an R-rated movie, okay? It's an R-rated movie, but it is something that is really just fun. It's really likable. I think the movie's really enjoyable. But let me know, guys, if you didn't like the movie. Let me know what really were the aspects that you were just like, oh, just cringe, or like, it's just jarring. Why are we doing this? Or, you know, something that you did like. You're like, yes, this movie, the direction was incredible. How they ever do this, or the acting with the characters made it so believable, so likable. You know, I just like them. Yeah, for me, it's the movie that just, it was something I really wanted and really needed, and I really enjoyed just how ridiculous but how serious the whole superhero thing was just taken, and just how likable the characters and the actors are. This is a good example of how the actors and the characters could be so likable in a film like this. So all this in the comments below.